Right, I've got my helper here today. Back, it's been a couple of days actually since I've been able to get here just because of time commitments and everything else that's going on, but I'm going to be fixing this in now. So you use these brackets here. These look like cast aluminium to me. Really nice and sturdy, good and flat. So what I'm going to do, because the only option for me on this, I mean you can have it this way, this way, this way, etc. I mean you can have it in a direction, but obviously I have a bit timber here, so I'll probably put it upright like this, because that way it's easier for me to fix in. I don't think that it's going to be especially easy to fix it in here, given that the water tank is behind there. So I'll put it upright like that. Be nice and easy for me to access that from above. On this one here, it'll most likely go pointing downwards like that, and what I'll do is I will mark it and I'll fix it. I'll put it in place, I will mark it, and then I will take this whole thing out and I'll fix this in place like that. What I am probably going to do is scrape off a whole load of this pebble dashing here so that I can fix this nice and flat. I mean it sits okay, and it is fairly sturdy here, so it probably is a bit overkill really, but what I don't want is that the pebble dash causes it to sit at an angle like that rather than having it flat and level. So yeah, that's what's coming up next. I was actually able to fit the drill bit in between here, and I used my Marksman for that. If you haven't seen these are a brilliant product. There's a link in the description for these where you can buy them, but it allows you basically to drill a hole. Doesn't really matter where the hole is, but then if this, say this was up against the wall and you wanted to mark here, you press through and it will imprint on there, and it can spray surprisingly deep actually from the nozzle, and then to lock it off you just twist and do that. So those are brilliant. Anyway, I marked on the walls and I marked a couple of spots. You can see there's a spot there, and I decided to go on this one here in the end. And then I've got quite a long drill bit on my SDS bit, so I came in through here, poked it through. Now the setup for these is very simple. What you do is you have, in fact I'll show you with this bit here. So this can free run in here up until the point that you push this tab through, which locks it in place, and then you have this that slides over the end like that to help hold it fast. So you set the depth, you have a nut here, and then also on the inside of this, I don't know if you can see, but that's a nut as well. So this screws in, and then that nut there pinches and holds it tight so it's nice and steady and secure. Then you can set your depth using this that slides and set it back where you want it in line, and then lock it all off, and then I can screw that in. Now I would recommend not screwing the first one in up until the point that you've set the depth of the second one, because you might need a bit of play to be able to get this bolt in. So I would cinch this, I'll take this off, cinch that up, screw it into the back of here, then you can set your depth, lock it off, put that little catch on there, and then you can bolt and screw everything in. Another little shout out to this awesome little Marksman thing. You'll see these marks here, and I drilled, that is a 4mm hole, and that's 2 inches of timber, and it still managed to get through in the orientation that I need. I'm just fixing this back to the wall just a little bit. Where I had to take this one out, it's lost a little bit of its strength now, so I'm just fixing another piece here, same as this, same deal, fix this to the wall and then screw it through here so it'll be nice and sturdy. But I'm really impressed with that. That's a really nice little piece of kit. Super sturdy, super sturdy. It's just screwed in through there. That's lovely and flush here the whole way across, all the front. And that's nice and sturdy as well now. This frame is in, so that is installed. What I can do now is I can look at connecting up this and testing it and flushing it, so you get a little bucket and hose and stuff and fill it up and flush it out and make sure that there's no debris stuck in here that might block it or anything like that. We're going to go for the front plate as well, so I'll be taking that off now. I've attached the valve here. It's got two plastic washers, one that sits on the outside and then the other one, I'm just going to flip you around and I'll show you where that fits. The other one fits in here, so you tighten that up and then you attach this on top. This hose stays internal and it connects up to that there. This is obviously your stopcock. This Grohe system is really impressive. When I received it, it was attached using this clip on the left hand side internally up on that lug, but my water supply comes in here, so you literally just lift it out, remove it, and you can flip it round and I can sit it on that lug there on that side and it reaches nice and easily. And also, because this is your flush plate, you can get access to everything in here, so all the servicing can be done through this window. I've taken everything out that I need to. You've got access to everything. This is the rubber push button that attaches to the flush plate, and that creates the pressure to open and close it. It's a really, really nifty system. So all I need to do now to liven this up, switch the system off obviously, attach this to here, which is easy enough. As long as this is attached, we're good to go. What I think I will do is I may put there's no point, this is all going to be tiled, there's going to be tile across here, so there is no point in me putting a on and off switch here. It's of no use to me there at all, because all of this is going to be enclosed in a wall. But I will get a bucket and I'll just check the water on here. I'll you know, they suggest here to turn on the water supply, open it up, because you can switch it on and off through that little valve there. That there you can switch on or off to isolate the water. So there's no point in having an isolation on the outside, the isolation is inside, which is again very nifty. So I can attach this all up, open and close the isolation with the hose out here into a bucket and test that it works basically. I've turned off the water now, isolated that, so I've got a little towel with me, but it shouldn't really be needed. And I also have one of these, which is super helpful. So this is a speed fit that goes onto a 1/2 inch hose. It's got a little rubber seal in it. These come in packs of 2, and I only needed one for the first job that I did, but they come in packs of 2. The other one is installed in the downstairs toilet. If you haven't seen that video, check it out up here. I'll post a link to that here. And so this is the second one, which is super handy, because this fits on here like an absolute dream. And also it's got a really nice long hose, so I can make sure there's a gentle bend here, and I may even put an elbow on this and bring it up and across so I can clip it to this wall here, just that it's kind of neat and tidy really. But I can get this, I'll get this attached on here, and I will close the valve off inside the toilet this way, inside the cistern, close that off, and then rig this up as I need to. So I didn't bother with the elbow, it wasn't needed. There's a nice soft curve on there, there's absolutely no tension on it, you know, it's got plenty of flex, and if it moves around with the pressure of the water, again, it doesn't really actually matter. This has got constant live water coming into it, and then there's a bullcock valve, so that's fine. Also, as I say, it's going to be completely covered in tile and tile backer board. No one's ever going to be drilling or trying to fix in here, so it's not needed. I will put some lagging on it because of condensation. I'm going to lag all of this. The whole lot's going to get lagged. And yeah, this is fine because it's insulated. Well, sort of. And yeah, so that's all good. That's got a speed fit, and I made sure that I put a pipe collar stiffener thingy in it. So that's all good. So yeah, nice and solid. Got my glamorous assistant, my glamorous assistant here, my toothless assistant, holding that, so that when I put my hand in here and I open it, water is going to start coming out. So keep that right in the bucket, yeah. So I'm starting to loosen off. It's not here. Oh, you hear the hair? Hmm? That means water's going to be coming out soon.
How?
There we go.
Stop!
Is it spraying you?
Yeah!
Oh no!
Stop!
Okay.
He is quite cheeky.
Right,
Like me.
so that works perfectly. We've got the stop valve, we have water when it's open. That's perfect. That's now clipped in there. That has a really nice kind of definitive clunk to it, just as it sits down on that bit there. And I have done this and I've cinched it up as tight as I can. So that's all good to go now. That's perfect. What you do next is you take this faceplate here and you effectively just screw it on. You then tile over it and all the rest of it, and then you slice down with your scalpel once it's done. So this kind of remains in place and gives you something to tile down onto. And then you can see the instructions here. Get your scalpel once it's all tiled up, and you want to put your faceplate on it, cut it down, and it all fits in. So that is pretty much it for this install video. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it helpful. Like I say, check out the Grohe installation video because it is very comprehensive. I mean, to be honest, it's quite logical and easy to follow. All of my parts, I mean, it is simple. But yeah, I think you do have to have a little bit of ingenuity and a little bit of creativity sometimes with, you know, building frames around stuff and whatever else. Kind of entry-level carpentry at best. You'll see I've put this here, you know, this is something for the tile board to catch on across the front here. So that's good. Yeah, it's all come in nicely. I'm really happy with how it's gone. Very, very simple to install. All of this was easy enough if you've got the right bits. This is a very, very helpful system here to be able to attach on stuff. You know, it's very, very adaptable and maneuverable, and it's great having these plastic covers up until the point it gets tiled. So that's really helpful. Perfect. The only thing I would say, which I cannot find, I have found this as a template guide for the size that the hole needs to be cut out that can be used for the tile guide. The only thing that I think would be helpful is if, because they know the height, this height distance here never changes. The only thing that I reckon they could do that would be slightly more helpful is to have a cardboard or a paper template that kind of goes around here so that the tiler has exacting details of what all of these things are. You know, knowing this size is useful to a degree, but you know, I could just pull this off and give him this for that. What would be helpful is knowing this in relation to that and having a template for that he can lay down on the tile and cut round. I think that would be more useful, but hey, you can't, you know, Grohe, if you're watching or if you see this, then, you know, maybe you could stick one of those in there. Otherwise, very, very simple, easy to use. Hope you found that helpful. If you did, please do like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Won't we, Ezra? Catch you later.